I was born on January 22nd, 1948, in Oxford, North Carolina, Granville County, North Carolina. The Chavis family has been in Granville County for over 200 years. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the Reverend John Chavis, who was an educator, first African-American to attend Princeton University, first African-American to be ordained as a Presbyterian minister in the United States. I became the statewide youth coordinator for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference at the age of 14. I had the privilege, actually, to work with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from the time I was 14 on up till I became an adult. I was so impressed not only with Dr. King's oratory, but I was impressed with Dr. King's commitment to help people who were less fortunate, to help people who were discriminated against, but to give them some sense not just of hope, but what it is people can do to improve their quality of life. Even while the system of inequality was in place, we always strive for equality. Lyndon Baines Johnson, a Texan, a Southerner, president, led the way to get the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But President Johnson couldn't do it without the support of Senator Everett Dirksen, Republican from Illinois. The Civil Rights Bill of 1964 was only made possible because of bipartisanship. It was only made possible because Democrats and Republicans agreed to work together. 1 year later, we passed the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Again, bipartisan. 1968, the Fair Housing Act is passed, bipartisan. Tragically, Dr. King was assassinated in '68. So what do? We got to keep moving, we got to keep organizing, we got to keep mobilizing. That's what led me to Wilmington, North Carolina in February of 1971. It was a paramilitary white supremacist group called the ROWP, the Rights of White People organization. They physically attacked us in the church, shot up the church, people wounded. We were the victims of the racial violence. But 1 year later, in 1972, the state of North Carolina indicts me and 9 other people and said, you guys are responsible for the violence that happened in Wilmington in '71. We became known as the Wilmington 10. I was 23 years old at the time. 8 others were 17, 18, and 19 years old, and the judge sentenced the 10 of us to a collective total of 282 years in prison. Convictions were not overturned until December of 1980, almost a decade later. I was asked by a reporter from the Charlotte Observer, what was my greatest learning while I was unjustly imprisoned as a member of the Wilmington 10? Simply, I learned and affirmed the oneness of humanity. I think we're all part of one human family. Dr. King taught us that bitterness only distorts the beholder. History shows, if we keep working at it, these divisions can be overcome. And when we overcome these divisions, we make progress in a bipartisan way. And quite frankly, that's what attracted me to No Labels, because I see this effort to get people to work together who may have diverse political opinions. They may be Republican, they may be Democrat, they may be independent, all part of one human family. We need to restore bipartisanship in American Congress. We need to restore bipartisanship at the state legislative level. We need to restore bipartisanship at local and municipal level. Most Americans now are kind of worn out with all of the divisions, looking for a way forward. I believe that No Labels offers a way forward.